All right, let's get to it. Uh, Hello everyone, Soul Commodore back at you again. And first and foremost, welcome in everybody. And I gotta move this stand a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be bumping into it the entire time, and y'all will be shaking, and y'all don't want that. But welcome on in everybody. Thank you for the glug glug rain, and of course, Gage. Thank you very much for the raid. Very much appreciated. Oh, yes, getting glug glugged right off the bat. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Hello again, Gage and Rain, and I think I saw Base Windu in there. I think. Yeah. So if y'all need to go rest or stretch or take a nap, get a drink, get some food, please do so. Don't feel obligated to be here, but I'm glad you're here. So today, what we're gonna be doing is something a little different because usually we play Paper Mario on Wednesdays, and we were gonna do some post game stuff, some post game content. But then what's this piece I was almost late with? Oh, is this one right here? That's not done yet. Basically, the Station Gallery has their annual members juried exhibition, and the deadline to submit is this Friday. And I saw that post yesterday, and I was like, "Oh crap! I forgot." With everything going on, I completely forgot that this was a thing that I need to submit for. So that's what we're doing today. We're working on that today. It's 10 segments. We've already got 3 of them pretty much done. So there's just 7 more to go. So not too bad. Not too bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever been late with. It's not like I gotta submit it tomorrow. I would very much like to submit it tomorrow, but I also have all of Friday to submit it, basically. So shouldn't be a problem. Flying by the seat of your pants. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. So what I think I'll do is we'll do some segments here, and then I'll take a little break toward the end of stream to talk about that. Actually, no. Why don't I do that now? Talk about the piece that's up behind me that I did at that fundraiser. How do I want to configure this? I think the easiest thing to do would be to do the none of those scenes. This one. All right. Let me go grab this thing. So, this is the piece that I did. I'll put it in front of the pool. At the Visual Arts Mississauga at Riverwood, they called it VAM Noir. VAM, of course, for Visual Arts Mississauga. Read the dark joke. But yeah, so basically it was a fundraiser. There were 21 of us, well, 22 of us total, that had 2 hours to do a painting from start to finish. You could do an underpainting if you wanted. You could sketch if you wanted before the, like you had to show up with a blank canvas. And then you had about, I would say, an hour to like sketch things out, to do an underpainting if you wanted. I did a little sketch, kind of roughing in everything that I wanted to do, and then this is the end result. Now it is very rough, as you see. Some of the edges aren't completely done, and some of the paint is pretty thin in some areas because you just had to go fast, right? Like there's a bunch of like areas where it kind of looks like someone took some sandpaper to the canvas, especially up in here, right? Because you're just trying to get as much coverage as you could, and then go from there. Uh, but it was a very encouraging. I mean, I had a lot of fun, but it was very encouraging because one, it proved that I could like do a bunch of like I could basically like stay on my game when a bunch of people are around and like watching you and all that. So that was a fun aspect of it. But also, um, I learned that I can do something like this in 2 hours if I'm really pressed. You know, if I'm really pressed and I'm really just focusing, I'm able to knock something out like this in 2 hours. And this is 3 feet by 3 feet, so fairly large size. And the nice thing is, thank you, Gage. I appreciate that. The nice thing is that I mean, would have been nice if it would have sold that night. Yeah, that would have been cool, you know. But the bonus is because this didn't sell, like no one went home with this. Now I can fix it up so that it's to the standard that something like this is, or something that's like the painting that's up on the wall beside it. You know, I can actually bring this up to my standards, because I want to do the same thing to this as I do with the tracking series, with all like the glitching and all that kind of stuff. Like I want to do that to this as well. Did I have an undersketch at all? Any pre-work? Yeah. So I had a very rough pencil sketch. Basically a line here for where I wanted the clouds to start, which obviously that didn't end up going. I kind of drew out this building, kind of drew out where the foliage would be, kind of roughed in where the roadway would be, but not anything too crazy. And then I did have a couple of reference images, especially for the figure, but I did have a reference image that I took for this scene, but then I just kind of went with it because you only had so long to do anything. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time just like looking at the reference image and then going back and trying to get it perfect. It was more so like just glance at it, be like, okay, well this is what's here, just kind of going from there. Context: Gage was doing horsey doodles and asked how to make a pony stop smiling, and I said to tell it a sad story. And then I came up with a dark joke, which I expounded upon telling it to my partner. Fair enough. I love parkour, man. Jump that barrier. Parkour. But yeah. So there will probably be a stream in the future of me just going in and fixing everything that's wrong with this, aka just me getting this up to the standard that I want, so that it'll be more along the lines of an adjacent the painting that's there, or the one that's up on the wall here. Probably angle that up some. There we go. Yeah, to get it to that same level. Oh yeah, please do share the horse sketches. I'm so glad that you had a sketch, because I was very intimidating that you planned and executed it in 2 hours. Hey, you do what you got to do. Everyone did something very wildly different. They did stuff that's very much in their specialties. So yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. All right, let me hang this back up, and then we can take a look at these sketches, and then we can work on the painting that's in front of us. There we go. All right. You duck under that. Angle this way. Angle it forward a bit. pull this in here, and then we will switch scenes. Back to our home. There we go. Excuse me. All right, let's check this out. Look at the horses. Wonderful. The other one too. The other link. All right, let me go to art chat. Oh, of course it's not displaying anything, because why would it? There we go. All right, so this is the second round. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm just gonna move that. I love the unicorns, and that like they're based off of the goats. That's great stuff. Very well done. And this is the first one. Horses are such dynamic creatures, and they're so majestic, and I don't trust them one bit. I don't. In real life, like I respect them, but I don't like them. I don't trust anything that big that's that skittish, you know? But I do like looking at horses. Very well done. Very well done, Gage. Yeah, again, if y'all ain't following Gage, like, come on, get yourself together. Very impressive. I like that. Very well done. All right, let me catch up with I'm very impressed with that piece, though. Soul makes me want to paint for realsies again. Traditionally, that's the word. Hey, for realsies also works, but thank you. I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. Actually, it's kind of funny. My mother-in-law said the same thing. Like watching me paint makes her want to like jump back in the ring. So I'm glad it has that effect. I'm glad I have that effect. I have to draw a Rapidash for a zine, so I wanted to work on my anatomy and poses. I love horses, but they're dumb as hell. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But that's fair. That's kind of that's cool. You get to draw a Rapidash. That's really cool. Which zine? What am I? Oh, right. The reference image. It was a nice return to form in the stream today. I decided since I have to do studies, I might as well teach how to break down something into shapes and translate it into a sketch. Oh, no idea Redder is making you do it? Fair. That's cool though. I like that. And yeah, that's really cool. Being able to do something like that. I like doing streams like that too, where it's kind of like breaking down fundamentals of things. Not that I'm that good at breaking down fundamentals. Not nearly as good as you, but I just realized that I forgot to get my paint. I should probably do that. It's just a little bit important to have a palette. You know? So, here's our palette. But yeah, the goal is to get this done by, well, I want to get it done tonight. Not during this stream, but I want to get this done tonight. That way I can just worry about stretching it tomorrow rather than also having to paint some of it tomorrow. I can just focus on stretching it and then getting it submitted. But cross that bridge when we come to it. Pokemon 30th anniversary collab is the name of the Discord at any rate. Cool. Cool. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. The zine won't be out for a while, but mine is due the 13th. Fair enough. Start with these skin tones here. This is a picture of a gentleman that I snapped when I went to go visit Jake in the UK. Way back in 2016, 2017? 2016, or 2017. So a while back. Yeah. It is neat. All right. So what I'm basically doing right now is I'm just kind of filling in the base skin tone, and then I'll go in with highlights and lowlights afterwards and kind of fill in as needed. Bunch of like really dark shades in here and all that, but I'll fill those in later on. And Jake in the UKK. Is the jacket leather? It's hard to tell from the photo. It might be leather, but it also may not be. Don't mind me, I'm just being an idiot. Hey, I'm an idiot all the time. It's all good. I'm basically always an idiot. All right. And I know this looks real messy right now, but I promise it will get better. What's the in-between lines going to be? So it's all the same figure. What I basically did in Photoshop is I took the original picture, segmented it into 10 sections, and then just kind of like offset them. So all the in-between sections are different parts of the same picture, just kind of offset. So like here's like the man's face up here, like the bottom portion of his face, and then the rest of the jacket going all the way down. Here is another part of the elbow. It's hard to see, but that's what the in-between is going to be. It's just different different sections, because you can see this part of the jacket's way higher than where the shoulder actually is. So that's the idea behind it. Is everything's just kind of offset. Thank you. Yeah, that was. I thought it would end up looking cool. Ooh, my favorite song on this playlist. Excellent. Perfect for a windy, cold, blustery day like today. Of course, my wife wasn't a huge fan of today because she doesn't particularly like cold weather. One of the many ways in which opposites attract. You agree with her? Fair. Fair. I'm of the opposite camp. I love cold weather. Give me cold weather any day of the week over warm weather. I guess that's some more exciting news. I been venturing out to try running in the cold weather more. Because I came to the realization that I used to do that all the time when I lived back in Chatham. When I would say I was at like my physical peak, I guess. You could say. And I was like, well, I wanna try it. I wanna see where I am physically. You know. So the last couple of nights I've been going out for runs like in the cold and the wind and everything, and my asthma has actually been fairly good actually. It's been quite encouraging. I'll send you a roommate. You could send me what? I do take my inhaler, yeah. Yeah. I take my inhaler beforehand and then I bring it with me. You know, just in case anything goes wrong. But so far it hasn't, which is very like I said, very encouraging. All right. Now I think it's time to add in a little bit more of this darker black tone. Okay, and do a little bit of light here. Okay, now it's time to introduce some like darkness. Of course, it can't be pure black, but I hate that my job basically turned my personal phone into an annoyance because I decided to use Google's 2FA on my work email for a website we use for pulling court docs. And now every time an email hits my mailbox or inbox, my phone's like, hey, listen. There. Yeah, no, I feel that. That would definitely that would most definitely be annoying. So there's now what I need to do is just go back in to the skin tone areas and just start adding in more and kind of blending it. Start layering highlights some more. Oops. That's supposed to be black there, not that light color. I just realized I wasn't doing much talking. But I guess there's not really a whole lot to say other than, you know, what we're basically just trying to do is trying to get this face as good as we can get it. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And now we can move on to the neck. And now we move into this color again. This is definitely one of the more intricate areas in this painting. I'm not gonna lie, one of the areas that I was most nervous about trying to tackle, but it seems to be going all right so far. But I'm always nervous doing figures, you know. Because you have a picture of how you want the figure to turn out in your head, and you're like, well, I hope it works. A couple more areas of skin tone in here. Gonna have to wash the brush. Oh, well, thank you, Gage. I appreciate that. I think it's just because, well, good tips from friends like you, and also just doing more of them has helped. It's like exposure therapy. Like I would never do portraits or anything. Like I would never do figures, uh, because I wasn't good at them, and I wasn't good at them because they intimidated me, and they intimidated me because I would never do them, and I would never do them because I wasn't good at them. You know. Exactly. Exactly. I used to be afraid of them. All right. Now get our black back out. Because we've got a nice dark shadow here. It almost feels like paint by numbers. Specifically like painting portraits too. Drawing, I was always kind of like that was okay. But painting portraits was like a absolutely no. Portraits are still my shit. I love them. Fair enough. Fair enough. um, I'm trying to do more full body expressions and interactions now. I feel those are your weaknesses. Oh, fair. Well, that's definitely the important thing, is to work on things that you feel can be improved. Most definitely. So now I'm just got a gray here, a nice rich gray, and come in and put in some shadows. White shirt. How is it already 6:45? Different things, so maybe they'll fund this project. And if not, that's okay. I will do it myself. But I thought I'd give you all an update on that, because it's been a minute since I've talked about that grant. I applied for that way back in April. That's how long ago it was. Oof. Are we back? I didn't even realize the stream died. I don't have any drop frames or anything here. And the internet didn't go out. Well. Sorry about that, folks. What was the last thing you remember me saying? Your stream notification went off twice, so oh, weird. That's really weird, because it's saying that it's saying that it's still going. Like it didn't stop on my end. Weird. Twitch, what are you doing? No, I was too much faith in your memory. Fair enough. No, I was talking about how I didn't get the Canada Council for the Arts grant, so I am instead applying for the Ontario Arts Council grant. And because of that, because I didn't get the Canada Council for the Arts grant, it's not going to halt any sort of progress that I'm making on creating stuff for anybody but myself. It's just going to slow down actually having it displayed somewhere, because I got to save some money first to you know, buy materials and whatnot. So just like above, we're just doing the base tone for the hands, and then we'll come back in with lighter and darker shades and fill in all the shadows and highlights. Hey, thanks, Gage, but that's all right. Like I said, I never go into grant applications expecting to get the grant. Um, but I appreciate it. I wish they were more plentiful too, but I guess there's only so much of the arts that you can fund. It all depends on what, at least with Canada Council for the Arts, it depends on the allotment that the federal government gives them, because they're the federal body. Okay. That's a lie. Look at Ireland. Fair, fair. They are much more robust with their arts funding than North America tends to be. Get some darker tones in here. Some of the shadows on the hand. So let's see, there's one here. That's too dark. I will go to the dark, dark stuff. Secondary low lights. And now I'm going to jump back up to the highlights. Oh, need more light than that. a good bot. Taking out the trash so we don't gotta worry about it. Yeah, that's good enough. Now we can move on to the coat, which is honestly the most fun part of this. The nice deep blues and all that. All right. So we're going to start up here. You know what? I've never been a fan of this playlist, this particular playlist. Let's move on to something else. Has anyone else found YouTube particularly laggy lately? Maybe it's just my computer, but oh, that is not the link I clicked on. I did not click to start playing the same playlist. Okay, good. So it's not just me. I mean, it's not good, but at least it's not just me. That's good to know. All right. Back we go. Where are we? We are up here. A very bright part of the coat. Next, this particular section of it. We're going to approach this the same way as we did everything else. Where basically we just throw in base colors and then kind of build upon them. With highlights and lowlights. And as with everything, we don't want pure black here. We want to mix in some of the blue at least. But it'll give off at least a little bit of the blue. Blue hue. Because it's very rare to find pure black in nature. Okay. Yes, but I live for the drama. Fair. Fair. Okay. And we'll continue. Oops. To get some white paint and clean that up. That's okay. That's a later project. It's gonna be so cool. Well, thank you. Thank you. I hope so. I think it will be. Okay. Just all this around the hand is pretty dark. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. First, we gotta do all this. darker area. This here is a darker area. Yeah, this is very much kind of like paint by numbers at this point. You know, sometimes paint by numbers and other products like that get a bad rap. And it's like, hey, it ain't hurting nobody. It's encouraging people to be creative. Even if it's already pre-planned, like that doesn't stop anybody from like putting in their own colors. Do whatever they want with it. Let people have fun with it, you know? Right. They're fun little activities, boring as hell for me, but it's nice that people get to play with paint. Exactly. Yeah. Like you just said, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you, and that's perfectly fine. It's not particularly for me either. Um, you know. But I would never look down on somebody because they decided to do a paint by numbers. Let people have fun. This world is tough enough as it is without legislating how people have fun with paint. My mom was very fond of them. Hey, congratulations on getting clocked out. My mom was very fond of them, and she eventually decided to take some oil painting classes. There you go. See, they're a gateway. They can be a gateway for some people. Okay, so now it's time to I'm sleepy. I think I may cancel. You should take care of you, Rain. At least get some dinner, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. You should definitely get some food. I just feel like if I close my eyes, I'm just gonna knock the funk out. Yeah, I hear that. It's actually been how I've been feeling the last couple of days. I've had to be very careful not to close my eyes while I'm working. Actually, you know what I did for this? I used two different brushes. Instead of trying to do both the lighter stuff and the darker stuff with one brush. That actually isn't that dark, or that light, I should say. Come back in with the dark brush. There we go. All right. Okay, now we're going to switch over to the light brush and start filling in some of this blue. And then we'll come in with a mix of the blue with some white and really hit those highlights. But for now, I'm more focused on blending the mid-tones with the dark stuff. You might have noticed some areas there just kind of disappearing. That's okay. I can always go back in with the dark brush, with the black on it, and start blending a little bit more, which is what I'm going to do. as soon as I'm done this. And then we'll hit some highlights. Everything's more or less landmarked anyway, so. But now that we've got all this blue in here, now I can come back in with the dark brush. Start really messing with these shadows while the blue paint's still wet. Like so. I messed that up a little bit. How do I judge values when I'm painting? Mine are always too close together. Honestly, I think my eye for the values might be biased towards the years upon years where I only did charcoal drawings. So I feel like my eyes, just because that was the medium that I used all the time, are more used to, I guess, more stark lights and darks, which makes judging the midtones a little bit easier. But I'm no scientist. I'm no color theorist. But I think that might play a role as to, because I found for like midtones, I don't have to think too much. It also helps that I tend to use references quite a bit. So that probably plays into it as well. There are plenty of times where I'm doing a midtone. It's like, oh, that's too dark. Oh, that's too light. Oh, gonna have to redo this. You know, that also happens quite a bit. Oh, it went to adverts. It shouldn't have. I specifically did all the ads at the beginning, so there shouldn't have been. It's okay. I can repeat it. I think my judgment of midtones and stuff, or midtones, My judgment of values, I think, um, is aided by the fact that like I almost always exclusively just did charcoal drawings. And because I did charcoal drawings, like it's very stark brights and darks, and that made it much easier, at least in terms of drawing, to like judge where the midtones are. Um, and then I think it aided with the painting, um, because I find that I don't have to think about where the midtones are all that much. Not that I, and like I said, not that I don't get it wrong. You know, there are plenty of times where I'm like, oh, that's too light, oh, that's too dark. Um, but I think a lot of my how I gear the relationship between light and dark and the values has a lot to do with the fact that, you know, I for a long time I only did charcoal. Um, for a very long time, I only did charcoal. Okay, so now we're gonna go back in with some highlights and kind of lighten up some areas. Interesting thoughts. I haven't done as much black and white work as I used to. Fair, fair. Yeah, and I mean, I'm no expert. That may not be the reason why at all, but if I had to guess, I would guess that it's because I did so much work with charcoal. All right, so our first area is right near the hand. That I need to fill in right there. And there's this here. It's there. And now it's starting to come alive. Yeah, that's definitely got some extra dimension to it now. And I'm not gonna lie, I think part of it too, in terms of values, I think part of it is I just kind of go off of vibes as well. In that sometimes like the value is wrong, but it looks all right, and it's like, oh, okay, well I'll just leave it. And sometimes the value is all wrong, you know. Um, but if it looks good, then I'll just kind of work with it. And now we're just going to add just a little bit more of a, not a pure white, but a purer white to some of these areas, just to brighten them up, even just that little bit more. Not bad. There are a couple of things that I need to fix, such as this. It's supposed to be a sharp line. Same with that. Now we can go back in here and fill in this belt or strap or whatever it is. And then this section will be done, and then I think I'm going to call it a stream because I still have to run to the hardware store and buy some wood so that I can actually stretch this thing. I also need to buy some epoxy because I don't know if y'all remember a ways back when my one hinge, basically on my laptop, the one hinge exploded. Well, now the opposite hinge is doing that, but I found a fix that you can do on YouTube that doesn't require you to actually ship the laptop in. You basically just have to epoxy the hinge back into place because it's a faulty hinge. It's a manufacturer's error. But I don't have the warranty anymore, so now it's up to me to fix it. And I found a fix, so I'm going to be doing that probably Friday, because I don't stream on Friday, so y'all won't have to worry about missing a stream on Thursday, because I'll have a full 2 days to make sure that my fix worked. There is a little bit of blue up here that I missed, so we'll do that. We'll do that in a minute. Once I finish with this highlight here. Same with the one on the bottom. Okay, now let's add in this blue up here. What did I miss? Right, this is all like shadow. So now we'll just add some white to get some highlights in, and then I'm gonna peel off some of the paint so you all can see kind of the idea. Yeah, peel off some of the tape so y'all can get a little bit of a clue of what's going on. And what my plans are. I wiped too much paint off of there. All right, and I'm going to introduce a little bit more blue to this section. And then introduce a little more white. Very little paint on the brush. Very, very little. There we go. All right. So there's that section. Not too bad, not too bad. Throw that brush back in there. So I'll kind of peel this off to show you guys. So you can see the pencil outline of where that arm's going to be. Oh, look at that. No bleed through. I thought there was going to be bleed through. There might be bleed through on this one. Oh, there's some bleed through where it doesn't even matter because it's pretty much the same color. All right. So yeah, let me zoom this out a little bit actually. Not the brightness. I want to zoom. Please. Thank you. But yeah. So that's basically how it's going to end up looking. So you have these segments here, and then in behind will be the other segments. And yeah, that's basically how it's going to go. I'm pretty stoked with how this turned out today. It's also a good barometer for the amount of work that I'm going to have to do for like this section. Well, actually, this section won't be as bad. This section with the very intricate like facial work is going to be more difficult. But this section still has part of the hand in it, so you know it'll be a good. This was a good gauge for how long this took. Probably going to take as long to do this and this, but that's okay. Still got plenty of time. I've got until Friday at 4:30 to basically submit this thing, so plenty of time. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me while we work on this thing that I completely forgot that I needed to do. I hope you all enjoyed. This was fun to work on. I had a lot of fun working on it. Why the brightness? No. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna mess with it. We're at the end of the stream anyway. but yeah. So tomorrow we're actually gonna play some Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. That'll be tomorrow. But for now, let's see who's doing what. So before we do that, I should say thank you to Rain for the glug glug, and once again, Gage, thank you very much for the raid. Always appreciate it when you bring your community over. My heart. So let's go back to Twitch. Which it's taking its sweet time to figure out what it wants to do. Oh my goodness. I don't have any art friends on currently. Does anybody have any art people that are doing anything that you would recommend? Because yeah, I don't have any art folks, art friends doing anything. I think I'm gonna be determined that next time we do an art stream, I'm gonna like raid out to a new artist. Not today because I do have to go, and I really don't like raiding and running to new people. You know, I do like to stick around when we raid new folks to see what they're doing. So with that, I think we'll just end it for today. And yeah, I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope to see you tomorrow. If not, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And provided I don't kill my computer, we'll be back Sunday morning at 11:30 for some more Undertale. And then we will not be working on this because this has to be done by Friday. But we'll be back working on probably the painting behind me with the stripes here. That one. We'll probably be working on that next Monday. Can't wait to see this one finished. Oh, don't you worry. I will be posting this on my Instagram, obviously. Blue Sky, Discord. It'll be in there once I get this done. So keep an eye out for that. Who was I pointing to? I don't know. Keep an eye out for that. But yeah, thank you again, everybody, for coming in and hanging out. And I will see you next time. Take it easy, everybody. And thank you all for streaming. Because, again, I'm just here doing what I was going to do anyway. You all really make the stream for me. So thank you for being fun and being cool. And we'll catch you on the next one. All right. If I can get this right window. There we go. All right. Take it easy, everybody.